Hey, what's up everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Duncan Dimanche. Today it's all about slow motion and I want to take a look at the Sony A6500 versus the Panasonic GH5 in slow motion. They can both shoot at 120 frames per second and the GH5 can also push to 180. So I want to see, how they compare in a real life situation. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what you think about the GH5. I love this camera and I really think that I'm going to be selling one of my A6500 to get a GH5. Right, so both cameras were shot at their lowest ISO, the GH5 at 200 and the Sony at 100. And just focus on, the big building on the right, obviously, is very prone to moire and they're both doing really well here. The GH5 is definitely a bit sharper, it's got more details. It's definitely more detailed if you look at the trees and the bushes. And now the 180 frames per second is pretty nasty. The building on the right looks awful, but once again, this building is very horrible. Like even I was seeing moire with my own eyes. But that's one thing you have to be careful about while shooting at 180 frames. And now they're all side by side. And here's me, juggling with lemons at 125 frames per second. Now 180 frames per second. And the couch on the back is pretty prone to moire. I like this word prone. But they were both doing really well here. And you can see my blue sweater. Look at where the buttons are. That's where you're gonna see moire a bit. But it's not too distracting, if you're not zooming in. And yeah, you can see my beard and my eyebrows are very twinkling because of aliasing. I wanted to see what would happen if I could slow down this footage. So this is the equivalent of 150 frames per second with optical flow. And now 250 frames per second with optical flow with Final Cut 10. I think it's better to shoot at 125 frames per second with the GH5 and then slow it down using optical flow rather than shooting at 180 frames because of the moire and aliasing. I know I've been saying those two words a lot, but that's what you're getting when you're shooting at 120 frames per second. Okay guys, that's it for this review. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, please subscribe to my channel and leave me a thumbs up. And of course, let me know what you think about it. I really like the GH5. The 180 frames per second is, you can use it, but you really have to be careful where you're using it because it's really prone to moire and aliasing, like just so much. So the conclusion is they're both very similar when it comes to 120 frames per second. I really think that there's not much difference. They both show some aliasing and moire, aliasing, and but they're both as sharp. The GH5 might be a bit sharper, but it could also be the lens. So yeah, it's really hard to tell. And they're both doing okay, I think. They're both usable. You just have to do, some nice grading to compensate for the lack of sharpness of the files that you're getting. And because YouTube degrades the video quality by compressing it once you upload it, you should download the original file. I'm going to put a link below in the description so you can actually see the real difference and it's going to be easier for you to compare them. And leave me a comment, let me know if you like the GH5's footage better or the Sony A6500 better. And I'm going to be posting a lot more videos about the GH5 versus the A6500 and I want to make a final conclusion on why I want to keep the GH5 and sell the A6500. So hit the subscribe button, it's going to be somewhere here, and I'll see you guys next week.